Hey there, English expanders. Today I'm going to give you some tips on how to beat yourself and become much better in preparing for your language exams. And of course your speaking test. I'm Agnes Jubonoy. I'm the creator of the Speaking Exam Pass online program, which has already had 13 students who have passed their speaking test. I'm so proud of you all. And I'm also the writer, or I'm also the one who writes the English Expander blog, where you can read tons of tips and tricks about how to pass your language exam or mainly your speaking test in Hungary. The blog is mainly in Hungarian, but Hungarians can read them. But let's not talk about me, let's talk about you. Here's the question of the day. What's your biggest excuse for not taking the language exam or the speaking test right now? Write your answers in the comments. So what's your biggest excuse for not taking the speaking test right now? You can write in one word, is it laziness or lack of time or having more important things to do than learning English or preparing for the speaking test? Tell us in the comments below and write us why you haven't taken your language exam yet. Now, I will tell you my own example. I only started English when I started secondary school, so at the age of 14, and I obviously got into the beginner group. But I was ashamed to speak in English, even in front of the beginner group and also in front of the more advanced group, of course. But after 2 years of studying, I somehow realized that if I wanted to get into university, I need to take my language exam. And of course, language exams consist of 2 parts. Yes, speaking test is one of them. And so I forced myself to speak English or talking in the lessons. And I have to tell you, I was not good at all. First, of course, but then step by step, lesson by lesson, I kept getting better and better because, you know, I was so motivated to get my language exam. I practiced a lot, oh hell, a lot, and not just at school, after school, during school, and before school too. And in a few months, I got to the stage where there was no turning back. I mean, my parents paid for the language exam, and I have to tell you, my family wasn't really rich or well off that time. So language exams, you know, cost a lot of money. And yeah, this gave me huge motivation then not to lose my parents' money. So in a few months from not speaking at all, I got to the stage where I went to my language exam. And some of you might know, because I told you this before, I got the minimum. I mean the minimum you need for passing. So I got the threshold, 60%. I was over the moon, you know, all my hard work paid off. So I told you my example. My excuse was for not speaking that I was really afraid and ashamed. And let's read some comments. What's your biggest excuse for not taking the language exam? You know, I have always had problems with the comments. Now I'm somehow prepared for them. Joseph is here. Joseph, may I ask you why you still haven't taken your, I think, C1 level exam, or have you already? All right, and Joseph is here, Ildi is here, and Heini is here. Please write your excuses why you haven't taken your speaking test yet. Now, if you don't have any, we will move on and I will get back to your answers later. but would be happy to hear about you. Right. Now let's talk about how you can motivate yourself and beat your laziness, or fight your demons, as I call it. All right. Do you still think it's enough to take part in a 60 or 90-minute session a week with your private teacher and that's all? I'm sorry to tell you, but this is never going to be enough for passing the speaking test or for even speaking English fluently. It's important to have a teacher, that's for sure. Okay, she will, or they will show you where you need to go, what you need to study. They will help you, guide you on your way. But it's more important to deal with English each and every day during your preparation for a short period of time, like weeks or 2-3 months, not more. 20 minutes a day would be perfectly enough. But each and every day to deal with English. And I will tell you an example, a situation. Which one do you think is more effective? If you want to get fit, going to the gym for 90 minutes a week, or working out 5 days a week for 20 minutes. Now, which one is more effective? The latter one, right? Okay, now think about how much time you spend with learning English a week. I'm really curious about it. And now I can see comments are coming in. So I'm going to look at the comments. And while I'm looking at the comments, please tell me, how much time do you spend with learning English a week? I'm really interested. Write down the amount of hours, minutes, you learn English a week. All right. Now, a lot of you have joined. Hello, good morning. I'm so happy that my show is back. This was my New Year's resolution to give you a Facebook Live show every Saturday. And I hope you're going to join me on my way. Hoinaka says, I'm just at pre-intermediate level and she has to study a lot. That's not a big problem. You have a month to reach your goal, no, not years, I think, Hoinaka. Keep up the good work and all your hard work will pay off. I know that you are dealing with English each and every day, and I know you're working hard on your goals, but you are on a good way towards your goals, I know. Joseph says he spends 2 to 3 hours a day with English, about 20 to 25 hours a week. Wow, that's amazing. Do you work with English as well? So do you use English at work, or do you study things in English? Why do you are you dealing with English so much? That's fantastic. I'm really interested in your motivation. All right, 20 to 25 hours, that's amazing. I'm amazed. Right, I will give you, then Josef, you could also give us some tips on what to do, but for the others, I would say my top tip is to plan ahead a 20-minute session for every day for 5 days a week. Okay, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour a day. For example, on day 1, for example, Monday, you can study a topic, housing, for example. Then on day 2, you can practice for a special situation, you know, because language exams are full of situations. So you can maybe practice the function of giving advice, because that's the most useful one. On the 3rd day, you could watch your favorite series or sitcom in English without subtitles. or if you're watching a really difficult sitcom, then you can turn on the English subtitles. And on day 4, you can browse through your Facebook news feed for, I don't know, looking for readings, interesting articles in English, or English-speaking sites, reading all the interesting stories in English. Or you can also jump into English Expander Facebook group, where you can talk or write in English. So you have tons of opportunities. What you need to do is find the ways that you can practice each and every day. Joseph says that he's on sick leave, actually. Yeah, okay. All right, he has had an accident, and you used English in your job. And when are you going to take your C1 level, Joseph? Do I remember well that you are preparing for that? Okay. Now let's move on to the next tip, which is your second demon, I guess. Which is somehow connected to the previous tip, and it's not planning ahead. You think English is not like maths, you can't plan your preparation, but if you believe this myth, I'm sure you will never get your language exam certificate. And why? You should plan each and every step towards your language exam and towards your speaking test as well. No excuses. But I will reassure you that if you can plan ahead only for 1 week, that's a big step. So my top tip here is find the time during the day when you can concentrate on your studies more or better. Are you a morning person, or are you more awake in the evening? You should plan your studies according to this. Now tell us in the comments what's the best time of day for you to study English. Tell us in the comments. Is it in the morning, early in the morning, or is it late at night or during the day? Until you write your comments, I tell you that I'm useless in the evening. But if I wake up 30 minutes earlier in the morning, I can fully concentrate on my studies. Studies? Yeah, I'm still studying something. I have to tell you, I always study something. Sometimes it's English teaching methodology or marketing stuff. I love studying. So I usually wake up earlier so that I can concentrate on my preparation. And in this way, if you know what time you are most awake or alert, your preparation will automatically speed up. You will not suffer or struggle at night, because my own example is that I lose my concentration at night. I never do anything after 9 o'clock, anything serious, because it's useless. So decide which time of day is best for you, and take this schedule really seriously. I mean, tell your parents or the people you live with or family that for a short period of time you're using this time for preparation, and they should leave you alone. And because others also know about your plans, it will give you enormous motivation. Now, let's go back to the comments and let's see what time of day you are most alert. I'm really curious who is a morning person and who is a night person. Right. Now I can't see the comments. I always struggle with that, and I don't know why. Maybe I need to learn about all this. If you, yeah. I don't know why. Ah, yeah, again. I need to learn about all this. All right, so yes. Heini spends 3 hours with learning English a day. I told you, Heini, your hard work will pay off. That's good. All right. And hi, Emma. I wish you a good day at work. With Emma, we work at the same language school. And I love it. I love that job, and I hope you find as much motivation in your job and in English studies as I do or Emesha does. Okay, yeah, others. Hi, Narcis. Nice to have you here, and please write your comments. Heini says she likes studying early in the morning, between 3 and 4 o'clock. I think nobody can beat this. Oh my God. It's early in the morning for you, or is it still at night? So you wake up at 3 and you start learning then? That's amazing. Okay. I'm so happy for you, Josef, that you're taking your exam in April. Fingers crossed for you. Josef tells us a really good piece of advice. He says, immerse yourself in English. You mean dive into English. That's wonderful. Even if you take a break, you can listen to English radio stations and podcasts. That's one of my top tips I keep telling each and every language learner. Okay, right. I'm so happy that you're here, and you haven't forgotten me, and you haven't forgotten expand your English Facebook live shows. And so what's your biggest excuse for not taking the language test right now? Do you still have excuses? I do. I'm going to talk about them next week. So now you can see that Expand Your English weekly show is back. I'm going to be here for you next week on Saturday at 10 o'clock. And I will do shows at least until April. That's my promise for you. And for more instant and useful tips, please visit my 3-part video series, which helps you prepare for the language exam, for the speaking test. You can find it at englishexpander.net, and you can read about preparation on my blog, blog.englishexpander.net. And you can always find me in Ed at Don't Panic Language School, when I have tons of lessons at elementary, pre-intermediate, intermediate, and B2 level. And there you can see and talk to me, and I will tell you live what you need to do with your preparation. So next week I'm going to be here for you with more useful tips, and I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'm so happy you commented, and see you again next week. Have a wonderful Saturday and Sunday, and enjoy the weekend. Goodbye.